It's safe to say that we are well and truly in the crypto bull run at this point, and if we're lucky, that also means we might be primed for GPU mining profits to come back strong. Maybe just for a few days, a few weeks, several months if we're lucky, or maybe not at all. But all it would really take is for one or maybe a few different of the GPU coins to pop off in price if we finally get a proper altcoin season. And when we do, you might want to make sure that you are ready to capitalize on that so that you don't miss out on those profits. So I've put together a list of 6 things you can do right now to be ready if/when GPU mining becomes significantly profitable again. So stick around, because that's what's coming up in this video after this quick word from our sponsor. My personal strategy in mining is to have a diverse farm. A big part of that is having ASIC miners for multiple different algorithms. Not only does that mean less risk, as you're not putting all eggs in one basket, but you're also exposed to the profitability of multiple different coins, which could be very advantageous. And with that in mind, there are currently 2 miners in particular that I'm interested in. The first one is the new at-home Dogecoin miner from 𝗬𝗎𝗓. Dogecoin miners are always on my radar as they let you merge mine multiple coins at the same time without using extra power, with more mining rewards coming from new coins being added regularly. And the 𝗬𝗎𝗓 miner actually offers top-tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, as it's silent and runs on both 120 and 240 volt power. And the same goes for the second miner I'm currently interested in, which is, well, either the AE1 Lite or the AE0 from iServer. They both also have top-tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, but they mine 𝗓𝗨, which is a smaller coin with a smaller network. And I love getting smaller miners for coins like that in order to diversify my farm, especially when they offer excellent performance like these ones do. But where can you get these miners from? Well, why not check out this video's sponsor, Coin Mining Central, which is an online store for ASIC miners with an over 6-year track record of overwhelmingly positive customer reviews. They have all the latest and most profitable miners, from silent home miners to full-size ASICs. They can even provide immersion cooling systems and offer great bulk pricing on ASICs. On top of that, if you're in the US, you can also choose to order directly from their US stock of miners to get even faster delivery and to avoid customs and import charges. Based in the UK, Coin Mining Central prioritizes great customer support, strict personal detail protection, and free worldwide shipping on all miners with no additional payment fees at checkout. You can also utilize their loyalty and referral programs to save on your next purchase. Plus, use my link down in the video description and code 𝗬𝗏 at checkout for a roughly $130 discount on every miner in your order priced over £1,000. Like the 𝗬𝗎𝗓 miner that I mentioned earlier. Or if you want to get a discount on the iServer AE1 Lite or AE0, you can use the code 𝗬𝗓𝗨𝗨 instead. So if you've been wanting to get some ASIC miners, check out that link below together with the code to save on your purchase. Alright, so let's get into this list of things you can do to prep for a GPU mining comeback to be ready to capitalize on all of the earnings, like I said. And the first thing on our list here is you want to make sure you are actually aware of when that comeback comes, if it does come. And the best way to do that is to, first of all, make sure you have bookmarked the different profitability tracking websites. So I have a couple of them on my screen here. The 2 big ones for GPU mining is obviously going to be hashrate.no and whattomine.com. And what I would recommend is just bookmark these 2 sites. You can even select the actual GPUs that you have. I have it open on the NVIDIA RTX 3070 here, and you can also enter that into your 𝗦𝗓𝗏 setup in the top here, which I've done 12 3070s. And then all it does is it essentially shows you the profitability for mining different coins with your GPUs. And also very ironic that actually there is a coin that would be profitable for me to mine as of today at my pretty high 17 cent per kilowatt hour electricity price that I have, which is this coin 𝗬𝗏. However, that is a very new coin, and who knows if this is going to last for more than a couple of days. But hey, that's pretty funny that I make a video on how to, prepare, and it's already profitable. But again, we'll leave that aside and move on, because there are a few more things you can do to sort of make sure you are aware as soon as possible when GPU mining profitability actually comes back strong, if it does. And that is of course also going to be to subscribe to some great YouTubers that cover this kind of thing. You know, obligatory, I'm gonna have to promote my own channel if you aren't subscribed already. If there was a big, you know, increase for GPU mining profitability that was significant, obviously I would make a video about it as soon as I could, but I'm not the only one that would. There are a bunch of different good YouTubers covering GPU mining. Definitely go check out Modern Mining, subscribe to him. He is very much focused on GPU mining and GPU mining on a budget in many of his videos. He does cover other things in mining too, but he has a big focus on his channel for GPU mining. Then I also want to shout out 𝗬𝗏𝗏, who is probably the one who is the fastest at getting news up whenever something relevant happens within the crypto mining sphere. Also covering GPU mining, but other topics as well, everything from CPU and ASIC mining too. And obviously, I gotta mention Red Panda Mining. He covers everything. He's, you know, the big guy, our GOAT in crypto mining YouTube. So I'm sure every one of you watching me are already subscribed to him, but hey, I have to shout him out anyway. So yeah, step one is gonna be make sure you are aware as soon as possible of GPU mining profitability if/when it does come back strong. And you do that by bookmarking the profit tracking websites. Probably check them once a day or something like that. Check them in the morning, just quickly before you go to work or whatever. And also subscribe to some good YouTubers that would make sure to update you if there are any news in, with this topic. All right, so the second thing you could be doing to prepare for a GPU mining profitability comeback is if you have been putting off selling some old cards in order to trade up to some better, more efficient ones, or just anything along those lines, now is probably a pretty good time to do so if you want to be prepared. And that is not only because you want to be prepared for if profitability does come back soon, but also because if we have a look at eBay here on recently sold listings, GPU prices have actually been kind of going up a little bit lately. So when it comes to selling off some of your older, you know, less efficient for mining GPUs in order to maybe, you know, buy some more efficient ones, now might be a pretty good time to sell some of those off, because you could probably get a little bit more right now than you could maybe a year or so ago. So I thought that was something I definitely should mention. There's also another thing here, which is if you do have you know, a bunch of GPU mining rigs with a lot of gaming cards in them, you know, RTX 3070s, 3080s, what have you, and you'd like to upgrade to much more efficient mining GPUs, there are some services that do offer that. This is not a sponsor in any way, but I have seen them covered on other channels here. You know, companies like BitPro that let you essentially just mail them your gaming GPUs, and they will just send you some CMP170HX GPUs. Now, I've never had any sort of contact with this company, so I definitely can't vouch for if they are legit or not, and you should definitely do your own research there. But I've seen other YouTubers cover them favorably, so hey, I thought I should mention that, because obviously the CMP170HXs are insanely efficient mining GPUs, especially when it comes to some of the memory hardened algorithms, which are, you know, the kind of algorithms that do tend to stay GPU mineable, as opposed to core hardened algorithms for coins like 𝗬𝗓, where those algorithms are very much more suited for ASIC miners. So coins that use those algorithms tend to very quickly move over to ASIC miners when, you know, profitability becomes significant. So hey, just thought I should mention that right now might be the time to, you know, trade up to some more efficient GPUs if that is something that you have been wanting to do but have been putting off. All right, so the third point on our list here is going to be maybe something that seemed pretty obvious to a few of you guys, but hey, I should mention it, and that is, if you haven't been GPU mining for quite a few years now on your rigs, you should probably go down and dust them off, turn them on, make sure they actually turn on and work as expected. and maybe like just set up a dummy flight sheet and mine something for a few hours to make sure that they don't, you know, have any random shutdowns or crashes or any other sort of weird issues going on with your rigs. So yeah, just dust them off, clean them off, get them out up and running, make sure they work as you expect them to. And yeah, let's move on to our next point here. Now, the next point here is that I really would like to encourage you to write down a list of all of the GPU mineable coins that you think could pop off, and also add to that list just what mining algorithm those coins use. So you could do that by, for example, again, visiting a site like hashrate.no, click on coins out in the menu here, and you can just go through all of the listed GPU mineable coins here. And also on what to mine, they have a whole coins tab up at the top here. Now, this isn't only GPU mineable coins, it is all kinds of mineable coins here. So you'd have to make sure you look up exactly what algorithm they use and if that is a GPU mining algorithm. But what I'll do is I'll also add my own personal list here on the screen, which you can use as kind of a starting point and then add to it as you see fit. And the reason why I'm saying to do this is because we will need this list for the following couple of steps here. And the fifth point here is going to be that use that list and make sure you're actually ready to receive mining rewards for all of these coins, because you don't want one of them to, you know, become super profitable to mine and then you have to scramble to get all set up to actually be able to start mining it. So what I mean more specifically with this is if you want to mine and sell or mine and trade your coins as you are getting them, make sure you actually have, well, that you know what exchange you actually want to use to sell or trade that coin. Also, make sure you actually have an account on that exchange and that you have the deposit address ready for that coin. So what that would look like more specifically is if, for example, I've brought a 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥 up here as an example. So let's say 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥 pops off and becomes super profitable to GPU mine. We want to make sure we're able to actually mine 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥 properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥 up on CoinGecko first of all. And if I do that and then scroll down a little bit here, you can see CoinGecko lists all, or at least most, of the available exchanges where you can swap or sell your mined 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥. So of course, you're gonna have to do your own research on whether or not you are comfortable using any of these exchanges, as I can't vouch for any of them. But I recommend you go through and you do this for all of the coins that you are, you know, expecting could potentially pop off in terms of mining profitability, so that you are ready to mine and receive those mining rewards if you want to mine and sell or mine and trade. Now, if you want to instead mine and hold, it's essentially the same thing. Go through all of the coins, but instead look up where you can find wallets that you like for all of those coins. So a very easy way to do that is to just go to the official website for the coin in question. Again, I have 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗥's official website up on the screen here. And as you can see right at the top, they have a wallets section where they list some of, you know, the wallets that they produce and distribute, as well as some alternative wallets here. And again, go through and do that with all of the coins that you find relevant, so that you have wallets ready, and make sure you have your wallet addresses written down in that same document where you have the coins, the mining algorithms, and now then also the wallet addresses for those coins. And this is also maybe a good time for me to give a little shout out to the Tangem wallet, because I actually contacted Tangem quite a while back now to ask them if I could get a discount code for you guys. And if you aren't aware, Tangem is essentially a hardware wallet that, in my opinion, has the best sort of combination when it comes to actual security to let you keep your coins safe, ease of use, which I think is kind of important in these things, but that also support many of the coins that us miners actually want to hold and use. So Tangent Wallet, if you go on their website, you can use the code 𝗬𝗑. The wallet supports a lot of the GPU mineable coins that are relevant for us. There'll be a link down in the video description. And as you can see, you can use the code 𝗬𝗑 to get 20% off on your order. It's a very safe, convenient, and yeah, easy to use hardware wallet for crypto coins that we miners actually use. All right, let's get into the next step. And the sixth and final point here is that you want to make sure you're actually ready to mine the coins that are on your list as well. So we made sure that we are able to receive mining rewards for them with getting the wallets/exchanges set up for them. We also want to make sure we're actually ready to mine them. And to do so, first of all, we want to make sure we know what pool we want to be using for each of the coins on our list here. Obviously, the easiest thing to do to find pools for the different coins is to go to this website, miningpoolstats.stream, and look up all of the coins that you have on your list. For example, I've brought up 𝗬𝗢𝗧𝗧 here, and what this website does, it just lists all of the different pools that have support for 𝗬𝗢𝗧𝗧. And then what you do is you just go on the website, for example, Hero Miners here for 𝗬𝗢𝗧𝗧, click on it, and usually there will be a little, how to start mining or how to get set up or anything like that. For Hero Miners, it says start up here. Just click on that and there will be a little guide on how to set your pool up in your flight sheet, for example. And speaking of flight sheets, that's going to be the next thing here in this final point that I want to make, which is to make sure you're actually ready to start mining these coins when or if they pop off in profitability. So go into your 𝗧𝗦 if that's what you're using for mining. It's what I would recommend you use, and just set up your flight sheets. Have flight sheets ready. So if you don't know how to do that, well, there are many different ways, but you can just go to the flight sheet section, click add flight sheet, and here you can just fill in the coin, your wallet address, add the pool, which we just saw over on, for example, the Hero Miners website here, or whatever other one you go to in the list here, and then set up the miner and you should be good to go. And I would recommend going through doing that for all of the different coins that are on your list. But it actually doesn't stop there, because I also would recommend that you go into your different workers. So I got my 12x3070 rig here, and I would recommend you go into the overclocking tab here and start adding overclocking templates for all of the different algorithms. So this is why we noted down the algorithm for all the different coins in our list, so that we could go in here, click configure new algorithm. You can select the algorithm. So for example, I might want to add a overclocking profile for 𝗬𝗓. So you just do that. You can see it applies it to all of the different 𝗬𝗓 coins here that are pre-selected within 𝗧𝗦. And then you can go in and you can just put all of the overclock settings here that you are essentially wanting to apply as soon as you launch a flight sheet for a coin that uses the 𝗬𝗓 algorithm. And then you just go through and you add new overclocking templates for all of the different algorithms. So maybe one for prog_pow as well, maybe one for, I don't know, vert hash, if you're gonna be mining vert coin, who knows, right? All of these different algorithms, make sure you have overclocking profiles ready. And if you want to find some good kind of like baseline overclock settings, again, you can go back to hashrate.no, which actually has some pretty decent overclock settings for most cards and most coins. So for example, hey, here's a vert coin on 3070s. So let's go in there. You can see some overclock settings stated here. These are pretty basic ones, to be fair. But what you can do is you can kind of use those as a starting point and then tweak from there to see if you can get some better performance out of your cards. I do also have some overclocking videos on my channel for both NVIDIA and AMD GPUs, so I'll link those down in the video description. All right, but I guess that's it. If you found this video helpful, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what your predictions for GPU mining profitability is. But if you're, I guess, not in the mood to wait around for mining to hopefully become profitable again, then you might want to get into at-home ASIC mining instead. So I'll put 2 videos about that on the screen for you here. And yeah, I'll see you in one of those. Thanks for watching.